How's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Pokemon Journey series. And it's been almost a month since the last time I reviewed this series, but we're finally back with episode 50, with Ash, Go, and Koharu going to the Galar region to dig up some fossils. And some Pokemon were captured in this episode. So how was the episode? Well, before I get on the review, if you like this type of content, be sure to like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Anyways, let's get on to the review, shall we? So the episode starts out with our Queen Koharu heading home from school. I like this moment when she gets back home. Yamper greets her, and she takes out her Eevee. And I like this moment because Yamper wants a belly rub, and Eevee sees this, and Eevee wants a belly rub as well, but Eevee is very clumsy and flops over, which was a pretty funny scene. Anyways, the professor actually calls Koharu into the other room, in which Ash and Go are already in there, and the curator of the museum from Pewter City is on the TV, or screen, or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, he wants Ash, Go, and Koharu to go to the Galar region to investigate some fossils that were discovered there. And Koharu at first, she doesn't want to go because she's got school, but then she sees Eevee, and that's when she decides to head off to the Galar region. So, for the first time, besides that one trip they had to Hoenn, that doesn't really count so much, so this one actually counts. Ash, Go, and Koharu go on their first traveling trip as a trio to the Galar region. Now, because Koharu is missing school for this trip, she actually has to write a report of her time in the Galar region to make up for a couple of missed assignments in school. So, is this something that Go has to do all the time? Because that seems to be the case since Go actually still attends school, even though he's traveling all over the world. So Ash, Go, and Koharu all arrive in the Galar region. And I like this moment here where they're walking around the wild area. Ash and Go, they're used to it, but Koharu, she's not so used to it and being around this many Pokemon. And the one thing that's kind of a common theme in this episode is that Koharu and Eevee tend to get into some dangerous situations, but end up getting saved by Ash or Go. This happens several times in the episode. But anyways, Eevee actually ends up running into a boulder and gets attacked, but Go saves the day with Cinderace and battles Boulder and defeats it, and then Go catches it. So I gotta give kudos to you, Go. You actually earned this capture, in my opinion. Anyways, Ash, Go, and Koharu then head off to meet the two scientists that they're actually going to be working with for the rest of the episode. Now, Ash, Go, and Koharu actually end up meeting up with the two scientists that are going to be helping them out, and yeah, they have some pretty interesting personalities. The dude is kind of aloof, while the chick is she's very careless, as we can see in this episode. And she seemingly is like behind a lot of stuff, and she doesn't know what she's doing half the time. But regardless, they end up digging up the fossils of the Galarian fossil Pokemon, and they come up with a hypothesis. And it's funny because they hypothesize that it's going to be the Pokemon that are opposite of what actually comes out of the restoration machine. So yeah, that's pretty funny. Are these two like how much are these two making? Can't be making too much since they seem a little incompetent. Anyways, while they wait for the fossilized Pokemon to revive, it'll take about 2 to 4 hours for them to fully revive. They decide to have curry on rice, so just like from the games, they make a bunch of curry, and Ash and Go eat a bunch of it. But anyways, the fossilized Pokemon come out, and it's Dracovish and Arctozolt, which is the opposite of what the scientists were predicting, but that's apparently the mystery behind the Galarian fossil Pokemon. You just never know what you're going to come up with. Well, kind of need the right combination, dude. It's not random, like you say it is, or it's a mystery like you say it is, but whatever. Things seem normal at first until Dracovish actually tries to chomp at Ash. In fact, he almost seemingly bit his head off. Came really close to losing your head, Ash. Anyways, Dracovish seemingly is trying to eat Ash over here, so he's chasing him around, and while he's doing that, he accidentally attacks Arctozolt, which angers it, which it flies into a rage. While Ash is being chased around by Dracovish, Go has to deal with Arctozolt. Now, Dracovish actually just wanted some water, and as soon as it dived into the water, it seemed to calm down, until it got back on land and started running back to where Go and Koharu are at. Speaking of Go, he's actually battling against Arctozolt, which he actually uses his newly caught Boulder in this battle, so good job, Go. But anyways, this Pokemon is actually tanking a lot of Boulder's attacks, which is pretty impressive. And then Ash and Dracovish show up and tackle each other and knock each other out. But that seemingly calms down both Dracovish and Artazolt, who seem to be happy now. Now, after all that is settled and done, the two scientists come out and note that, after they got frozen in the episode and Cinderace over here actually helped them out, they actually note that these two fossilized Pokemon have grown attached to Ash and Go. Are you sure about that? One tried to kill Ash, and the other one went into a rage when it got attacked, and just attacked everyone. I don't know about that, but regardless, it seems like these two Pokemon have become fond of Ash and Go. So, they tell Ash and Go, hey, you should catch these Pokemon. We've got all the data we need, so go ahead and catch them. So, Ash and Go do just that. Ash gets Dracovish, and Go gets Artazolt. Cool. So the episode comes in with Ash, Go, and Koharu heading back to the laboratory in Vermilion City at the Sakuragi Labs, where Dracovish and Artazolt are hanging out at the lab now with the other Pokemon. So gotta say, guys, I thought this was a pretty good episode. Not the best episode of Journeys, but it's definitely not the worst episode. So, good overall. But I noticed some improvements in this episode compared to previous episodes where Ash and Go traveled. I know the first thing that I noticed is Go's captures in this episode. I thought they were both genuine for the most part. The Boulder capture. That's how, if Go's going to be capturing these Pokemon, I don't want it to be Pokemon Go style. I want it to be more like this, where he legitimately earns the Pokemon he captures, and then he utilizes it in the episode. And that's exactly what he did in this episode. He battled Boulder, defeated it, caught it, and then used it later on when Artazolt was going berserk. So, good job. I want to see more of that. I don't want Pokemon to just be caught and just disappear to the lab. So the second thing I liked in this episode is the fact that it felt less episodic compared to prior Pokemon Journeys episodes. And what I mean is that this episode felt like a proper continuation of episode 49, where Koharu got Eevee, and that's carried over into this episode. But not just that. It also feels like a continuation of episode 38, because the curator of the Pure City Museum is here, and from that episode, and sends Ash, Go, and Koharu off to do some research in the Galar region for fossils. So it feels like a proper continuation of two different episodes, which is also pretty nice. So it kind of feels like Journeys is starting to kind of move away from the episodic format, which is nice. We all want that. And lastly, the third thing I liked in this episode was our Queen Koharu finally getting to travel with Ash and Go and do research with them. So it's Queen's time to finally shine. Better get used to it. Anyways, all jokes aside, I just want to say I'm already loving the dynamic of Ash, Go, and Koharu traveling, and I want to see more of it in the future. Obviously, we got indications that Koharu was going to be traveling with Ash and Go going forward, and the opening definitely indicates that that's going to be the case. So I want to see more of this. I want to see their personalities bounce off of one another. You got to see a little bit of this episode. I want to see more in the future, but I think the main thing here is that you really get to see that Koharu has changed quite a lot since the beginning of the Journeys. Because in the beginning she was very cold and distant to Ash and Go. She didn't really seem very interested in their goals. And, 50 episodes later, you get to see that she's evolved quite a bit. She's, grown closer to Ash and Go. She, appreciates their goals. She sees that, they're working towards it, and she's got to find her own goal eventually. And you get to see that at first she didn't really want to go to the Galar region, but she saw Eevee, Eevee's already changing Koharu and making her, grow, closer to Pokemon and become a little bit more, friendly towards people and Pokemon. So you get to see Koharu just change so much since the beginning of Journeys, and it accumulates here. And yeah, we're going to probably see her develop more and more as the series goes on, so I welcome that. But again, the dynamic between these three is what I'm looking most forward to with their future travels to different regions and cities and places. Now, I will say there's not really a whole lot I dislike in this episode. I mean, there were some slow moments for sure, like the curry segment was kind of boring. It had some funny moments, but overall it was like, okay, it kind of dragged on a little bit too long in my opinion. But I have to say, the Dracovish capture for Ash, compared to his other captures and Journeys, it's definitely underwhelming. It's definitely my least favorite of the captures because, comparing this capture to the other ones, it's definitely underwhelming. Like Dragonite, Gengar, and Riolu were great captures. Galarian Farfetch was a pretty good capture as well, but this one, it was, Dracovish goes berserk and tries to eat Ash, gets in the water and calms itself down, crashes into Arctozolt, and then it's like, oh, you guys have bonded with these two Pokemon? Why don't you have them? I don't know about you guys, but that's a bit underwhelming compared to the other captures in the series. So hopefully Dracovish gets some justice when it has some pretty nice battles in the Pokemon World Championships at some point in the future. We'll see. Alright guys, that's all I got for this episode review. So episode 50 is done and in the books, and I thought it was a good episode. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So guys, in the comment section down below, what did you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Post your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you're new to the channel. I'll talk to you all later. You all stay safe out there and have a great day or night wherever you're at. And get hyped because Gary and Iris are coming soon. Peace.